Hello there, and welcome to the Online Business Academy Q&A webinar. We have these regularly to try to help you with any questions. I'm John Commuta, and as you can see here in lovely Arizona, it is still summer. In fact, there was a meme on Facebook that I came across my feed, and it said it's fall in Phoenix, so that means pumpkins and highs in the 80s and sunshine and okay, it's summer with pumpkins. And that's what we have right now. It's beautiful. And it's actually, this is one of our perfect seasons. All right. So I'm glad you're with us. I see we've got a good group here. Let me know if you are seeing and hearing. Somebody just say, yep, I see you. I hear you. And there we go. We got Percy from Memphis. Love Memphis. Yep, I've been there several times and enjoyed it a lot on the river. So good. Okay, thank you, Marianne. We're being seen and heard. That's what's important. Okay, as I promised today, I'm going to give you a little tour of the program that we use for all, essentially, I can't think of what we don't use it for. We use it for every component of our marketing system here at Smartest Wealth Systems. It's called Kartra, Kartra, and I talked about that in the email that I put out earlier today. And so that's what I want to talk about, because seriously, everything in the Online Business Academy is designed to tell you how to use the different functions that Kartra does. Actually, the Online Business Academy was designed, before we switched to Kartra. And we were using multiple different platforms. We used this guy for emails, these people for pages, for landing pages, web pages and landing pages and sales pages and all that kind of stuff. And then we used a different shopping cart plugin, and it was just a mess. A website somewhere else. It just was, everything was all over the place. And it cost a lot of money because you're paying, $100, $200 a month for each one of those things. So one of them, the shopping cart that came with our email program, was so bad, we had to pay for another shopping cart overlay that overlaid the ugly shopping cart pages from our email program to make them look decent by today's standards. And now Kartra does all of that. So that's what I want to do. I want to show you that when you start, we've got the start with a plan. That's kind of that session, that first session is really about you and the market you want to serve. And that's the heart of any business. It's, in fact, out of the two, the market is more important. The market is more important. What you want, and I love to quote the immortal Gary Halbert, one of the greatest copywriters of all times. He once said, you don't need to make the best hamburger. You just need to find a starving market. Okay, so the market is the most important thing. And then you want to offer them something they really want. That's what it's about. They don't have necessarily to be starving. They have to want it. You've probably heard the old adage, find a need and fill it. Find a want and fill it. People will spend much more money on things they want than on things they need. I mean, we can all think of things we need in our lives, and we don't put as much energy or resources into those things as the things we want. And so if you want to build a business, and obviously you want to be offering something that's good for people, that's going to help them have a more enjoyable life, a better life, a healthier life, whatever. But so there's the crux of the first session is you and your market. That's kind of figuring out those two things. And so that ends up determining what business you're actually going to do. You may have that already figured out, and that's fine, but there are tools, the assessment tools, for example, in the first session are really important. They give you insights into yourself, and you can find out, what am I really good at? What am I strong at? What am I innately sufficient in that I can focus on using those talents from me and maybe outsource stuff that I'm not so good at. So that's what that helps. The next one, marketing. Okay. Marketing is number one, is that second session. And that breaks down the marketing funnel. And that's really what we're going to be talking about. When you look at the marketing funnel, you're seeing, okay, let's say I run an ad on Facebook. Somebody clicks on the learn more button. Then they go to where? What? Where do they go when they click the learn more button? They go to what's commonly called a landing page, which is a page out on the web where it sells whatever you enticed them to check out with your ad. Now, maybe you're offering something for free just to get their email address. So that's an opt-in page. But whatever it is, commonly they're called squeeze pages because you're squeezing the viewer, the visitor, down to one decision. And that is, give me your email address and I'll send you this special report or whatever. Or buy this thing. Decide to buy it or don't buy it. But that's what the decision is on this page. So you go to a landing page. Well, then they, if they click, yeah, I'll buy that thing. What happens then? Then it goes to a shopping cart, a whole checkout system that has to be integrated with a credit card payment system and all that. So imagine having to put that all together with different software solutions, online solutions, that some of which are designed to work with each other and some aren't. And so you have to create this thing. And that's why the guys who created Kartra, Andy Jenkins and Mike Filsaime, two of the, if there was a Mount Rushmore of marketers, they'd be two of the faces up there, and Frank Kern would be a third one, and probably Ryan Deiss would be the fourth face. So these guys are historically great online marketers, and they created this platform, Kartra, because they wanted something to do everything they needed done, that they wanted done, and they wanted it all in one place. And one more advantage, which I'll show you, and I'm going to get into it here, is because everything is connected, analytics are amazing. I mean, you can track someone through the entire process of their relationship with you, every step of the way. And you can see that, okay, if I change this headline, what does that do to conversions on this page? You can do split testing. It's all built right in. So let's get to it. And so here we're going to share, and there you can see, and I better find that page so that I know what I'm doing. All right, there we go. So, all right, we are looking at the Kartra interface, and I'm going to try to expand this a little bit to see if I can get it to be a little bit more complete on your screen. I don't want to get it so that everything is so small, but I want to get it to where I can roam around and you can see stuff. So I think this is a pretty good representation of the full, when you log in, this is what you see page, okay? So let's, and really your entire involvement with Kartra is just going down this left-hand column of menu options. So when you land here, this is your dashboard page. And if you ever want to get back to it, you just click on the word Kartra up here and it'll take you back to this. And I really like this because right here I can see, boom, when I log in the last 7 days, we've sold $2,000 worth of stuff at a $1,968 profit. That's after credit card fees, et cetera, and the cost of the goods and whatever. So we made just under $2,000 in the last 7 days, which is not bad. We've done better than this. We're kind of in a transitional period in our advertising. So advertising is at a low point right now, but this is still pretty good because a lot of the people, and this is something important that you need to get a handle on, you want to have sales after the initial sales. One of the best ways to do that is subscriptions, memberships. All right. So, and you'll notice that memberships is a part of Kartra. It's right over here, about halfway down the menu. What you want to be able to keep them involved and keep them paying something to be part of what you're doing, and then that creates ongoing revenue streams. And the benefit of that is if somebody's paying X a month to be in something, and then you sell one of those, and then the next month you sell another one, well, now whatever X was Now you're getting 2x. The next month you're getting 3x because you're getting the new sale plus the two that are ongoing from the previous months. And so your revenue stream can grow even though your sales are not necessarily increasing. So that's one of the benefits of having some kind of an ongoing relationship with your marketplace. The other way to have to do it would be to continually make additional sales. And that can be, that can be a harder pull. So if you can find a way to be of ongoing benefit to your market, to your customers, and then have what you're saying is, instead of me charging you this, I'm going to charge you this monthly. And you can quit anytime you want to. And so therefore the revenue increases. And if somebody drops off, they drop off. That's attrition. I mean, you have to be able to deal with that. So here we see on the dashboard, everything looks good. And you can look at each day individually, and numbers change, you notice, to show you the difference. And you can see the top products that you're offering. It'll break each one of them down and tell you how they're performing each day. So let's just go down this menu, because this is really how you would build your business into Kartra. So the first place you start is products. So what are you going to sell? And you'll notice here that we've got several. And in fact, we have to click the arrow to see them all. But they're different versions of the same product, maybe, that are sold different ways or through different sales channels. And so we've created individual products for that. You can do it that way, or you can also create one product and create multiple price points for that product. And those price points will kind of behave like separate products. You can track them, and you can control them and use them separately, even though they're all under the same product. So let's just look at this. So you say, okay, I want to create a product. So let's just go with the Banker's Secret book. This is the, I'll start out with this. I'll just start out with this because it's the simplest one. So this is the Banker's Secret book, period. Just the book. Now, if I click on edit, which is what you would do when you were going to first start building this product, you have to build this product into the system so that when you have a landing page that sells it, it's already in there. So you don't have to, in that landing page, create all the information about this product. It's already in there, and all the parts of Kartra will refer back to the product for different pieces of information about it. So let's edit this. We'll just click on the little pencil, which is a standard edit icon. You can clone the product. Let's say that like when we went to do the other versions of this, just cloned it and went into edit and made the changes in the clone, renamed it, whatever. And now we have two in there, and we didn't have to go through the trouble of creating everything from scratch each time. You can delete a product, and you can pause selling the product. Okay, so let's just edit. That's what we primarily want to do here. So here's where you put in your name, and BSB SWS is Banker's Secret Book Smartest Wealth Systems. So it's just our naming convention for products. You can name it whatever you want to. You have up to 40 characters there. All right, so the basic information, the first thing it's going to ask you is for the basic info about the product. You get to, if you hover over, if I click change, you'll notice that there's the image here from the book. This is the book cover in this little circle. And if I wanted to change that, I would click change, and then I would hover over this. You see a pencil. I'd click that. It would say, okay, you want to upload it. It'll show you all the images you've already put into Kartra, and you can select one of those. Or there's an upload, and you can just click on that, and it'll let you go on your computer or on the internet or wherever you want to source it and pull it in there, and then you have your image. You put in the official name of the product, a bigger description, a longer description if you need that. If the name might be a little cryptic and you need to explain it a little bit better, this is really for you mainly. And this, list it publicly in the marketplace. This is Kartra's marketplace. Kartra actually has a marketplace that everybody who has Kartra can go in and look at each other's products and maybe buy them. So we let this, because this is a forward-facing product for the general marketplace. So we say, go ahead, put it out there. And then It's a learning course, and these are tags so that when somebody's looking for something in the marketplace, these are the tags that you can click on that will allow them to say, oh, this is personal finance, and it'll be in that category when they click on it. Payment process. So once you're done with all that, you save it, click save, and now that's the way it was. And then the payment processing. All right. So these two payment processing options, I'm not going to get too complex here, but you need to think of Kartra sort of as a web in the sense that everything is interconnected. And so you really need to have set up these two options ahead of time. And it's a one-time deal. That's beautiful. So you would go down to My Integrations. Okay. So these are integrating payment systems. We have PayPal and we have credit card processing. That's what we have. Now, you may just want to use PayPal. That's fine. So where do you do that? In the My Integrations down here. So we could click that, and I'll click it after we get out of here, but they offer a ton of different integrations where Kartra directly integrates with another platform or another service if you need it. For example, if you want to, when we get into the email part of it, if you want to send text messages, okay, to send a text message, you have to be set up with a SMS system. You can't just plug it into your cell phone and say, text this out to everybody. It doesn't work like that. If you want to send mass texts out, you have to be plugged into a text service like Twilio, for example. And that integration is built right into Kartra. So you just select Twilio, boom, and then you can go in and send text messages in your automation, automated text messages, and you can mix them in with emails. We do that all the time. We send a couple of emails over 2 or 3 days and then follow it up with a text message and then another email, then another text message. So it's really handy, really handy. So these integrations, we'll take a look at them, but they have to be put in ahead of time. So now pricing. So you say, all right, here you notice there's a couple of prices here. And one is a discount price and one is full price. And then sales tax, we turn it on because you're supposed to charge and file and pay sales taxes for your state at least. And if your business has locations in multiple states, you need to file them anywhere you actually have a physical presence for your business. By the way, if you hear leaf blowers and stuff in the background, our landscapers timed this perfectly. They showed up just in time for this webinar. Same thing with the refund policy. You can turn it on or turn it off. We have a standard 30-day money-back guarantee. Save and next. Contents. This is where you tell it what the page is for this product, and in this case, it's BSB Direct. And thank you pages, where are they? What pages are those? The thank you pages, et cetera. So you can see that you got to have the integration set up ahead of time. You have to have the pages that are going to be necessary. But it's kind of cool if you go to build a product and you'll go, oh, I didn't do that. And it makes you go out and do it. And that's one of the things about Kartra. You build stuff kind of from the inside out. Most people want to go from the outside in. They want to start with the first, the high level piece of it and work down to the details. Here, you really have to build the details and get up to where you go to your landing page or whatever the front end thing is. And now when you point at stuff in the system, it's already in there, like these pages, for example. So I'm just going to say, save and next. You set up the checkout. You can put your logo at the top of the checkout page. In this case, it's a Kartra-based checkout page, but you can, if you have a WordPress page with a shopping cart on it, you can send it over there. So Kartra is very flexible. If you want to have a help desk, which we don't have right now, we probably will at some point in time, although we don't get a lot of customer service type questions. But if you might, you can set up a help desk and it'll be automated and it'll create tickets for you, where if somebody says I have a question and they file it and it goes in as a ticket, and then you can outsource to a virtual assistant or somebody to check those things and deal with them, and you don't have to necessarily deal with them, but it keeps that ticket thread so that you can see what was actually done, and so can the customer. Checkout page fields, like we want first name, last name, email, country and state, address, city and postal code, and phone number. We kind of want the complete contact information. Express checkout, we don't use that. Cart abandonment tagging. Okay, now tags, this is another piece that's in here. Tags are something that, let's say somebody buys the book. You would want to tag them, and we do in here. We tag them as a BSB buyer. What does that do? It puts a tag in their record. And so if you go into that customer's record, which it'll be in the next section, the communications section, you'll see the tags, BSB buyer. Okay, so we can just go into their record and glance at the tags, and we can kind of see what they've done and where they've been. If they abandon the cart, this is cart abandonment tagging. What that means is somebody goes into your sales page, they click the buy button to check out, they go to the checkout page, or in Kartra, you can have a checkout form pop over the existing page. And, that's where they put in, this is what I want, and here's my credit card number and all that information. And so let's say they start filling that in, and then the phone rings or they get nervous or whatever, and they change their mind and they leave and they don't finish the purchase. It will put this cart abandonment tag on them. And what you can do is create an automated email sequence, for example, or even a text that says, hey, you were so close. We noticed that you went to go get the book and you almost had it done. And here, click here and go finish and get this book, because it's benefit 1, benefit 2, benefit 3. Don't miss it. All right. So you have an opportunity here. How cool is this? I mean, this is what this automation can do for you. So, I mean, when somebody's ready to buy, that's the best opportunity to get them to finish that process. You don't have to talk them into it again. So, whatever came up and they didn't finish it, and then they forget, right? Or they shut their computer down and bam, there went the checkout page. And here you got another contact coming at them, an email or a text or whatever, saying, don't miss this. You wanted this book, get it. It comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Come on, click here. You see what I'm saying? So you have another shot at them, and you'll get a lot of people from the cart abandonment process. Checkout language, English. ROSCA it's regulatory. And so you can have it. It's really mainly for like Europe. Okay. If you're dealing with Europe, and they have much more stringent regulations in terms of disclosures and stuff that you have to make before you even ask anybody to buy anything. Bump offers. Okay, bump offer is, you may have already seen this on the way in to Smartest Wealth Systems. The bump offer showed up if you bought the book. Let's say you bought the Banker's Secret book from a Facebook ad. You went to the checkout. You came to the landing page. You click on the button to buy. You go to the checkout page, and there it is. And there's the book, and it's $7. And then we offer you the videos, the accompanying videos for $39. And it's just slide a little slider switch over, and it adds the $39 to the $7, changing it to a $46 purchase. There's a lot more content there for you, but that's how you do that. That's called a bump. In other words, you're bumping up the initial purchase. And that's where you can put in a bump offer. We have it. This is not the product we have that on. This is the standalone book. It's not part of the book funnel, is what that other process is called. So post sale, what list do you want to put them in? You can have different lists. This is Smartest Wealth Systems. We have about 8 lists in our Kartra, but you can put them on a list so that if you say, hey, I want to talk to everybody, I want to send, like today, when I sent out the email a little more than about an hour ago now to invite you to this webinar and tell you what I was going to talk about Kartra, what did I do? I went into our Kartra and I said, give me everybody that has the tag Online Business Academy, because we put that on people who buy the Online Business Academy, who get into the academy. So that's all I had to do, and boom, everybody was in one list. And then I said, okay, now send these people this email. So it's very simple to use this stuff, but that's why you tag, and that's why you put people on lists. So I said that wrong. I didn't go for an Online Business Academy tag. I said, give me the people on the Online Business Academy list. You can have people on 5 different lists. One person could be on 5 different lists. And so if you say, give me everybody on this list, they show up. You say, give me everybody on this list, they show up. If you say, give me everybody on a list they're not on, they don't show up. That's how that works. Tags, BSB purchase, accessing your products. It's a downloadable file. So you get the email with the download link. The thank you page has the download link. So I'm just taking you through this real quickly. If you let affiliates sell this product, and we have affiliates, and then they would get a commission. Because this is only a $7 product, we don't have this as a commissionable product. So affiliates are not allowed to sell this product and then finish. I'm done. I created this product. Now the product is in there. Now I can go put it on a sales page, put it in a shopping cart. See, now that this is done. So what did I need to do? I said I was going to show you the integrations. So we'll click down here. We're kind of jumping a little bit, but you see PayPal, Stripe, right there. Those are the two we use. PayPal we use for PayPal people. Stripe we use for Stripe. Now, the bump offers, if you have a bump offer, you can only use credit card for that because PayPal, at least at this point in time, doesn't allow the add-on amount. The whatever the initial thing is, that's all they'll process. So because we wanted a bump, we had to use Stripe. Stripe is all the credit cards. PayPal is PayPal and all the credit cards. Okay. But because we wanted to have that bump opportunity where the videos could be added on, we could not use PayPal. And we had to stay with Stripe. So it was only the credit cards and not PayPal. Crazy, but that's what we had to do on that one. So Twilio, you see we have Twilio. We're using Twilio. You see the things with the green check marks. So we use Twilio for texts, but you've got a lot of other stuff here. Kajabi, some people use Kajabi if they have a course that they want to market. And Kajabi is a nice environment for your students in your course, but memberships inside Kartra does almost everything Kajabi does. And it does enough, quite frankly, for us because we keep all our courses in Kartra memberships. So anyway, you can see that Zapier, for example, if you're savvy in connecting web platforms, Zapier is like a universal interface between Kartra will interface with Zapier and any other platform that, let's say, Kartra doesn't directly interface with, but Zapier does, then you can make the connections inside Zapier. All right. So it's a very cool universal sort of interface type thing. So anyway, you can see these are all the things that they integrate with, but this is how you set up your payments. So the next thing would be communications. And I just wanted to show you here, you got lists. So we have all of our various different lists with the people on them. And we have a lot of lists, as you can see here. It's just a way for us to keep people on our complete Smartest Wealth Systems list. You see, we have almost 3,000 people on that. So, but you can break it down. Everybody's on that one list, but 958 of them are also on the Agent Academy list. So anyway, all right, so leads. This is essentially everybody in the database. You see, actually, it says 3,951 contacts. So this is everybody in our system. And if I want to say, I only want people with a certain tag, what do? I just click here and I say, we want people that we want the people that have a tag. So this person has the tag. What category is the tag in? Let's call it SWS product. And let's call the tag, we'll find us. We'll find the online bit where, okay, online has got to be, wait a minute, why? That would be OBA product. Okay, so we'll just pick a different one. We'll say BSB purchase. Okay, if I add that action or that selection, it will then give me those people. And it tells me I have 236 of them that met that requirement, that they had that tag, and there they all are. So if I wanted to do anything to all of them, I could click up here and it would automatically select all of them. Then I say the action. What's the action? I want to assign a tag to them. I want to unassign a tag. I want to put them on a list. I want to take them off a list. I want to subscribe them to a sequence. What the heck is a sequence? Well, let's look at that. Let's find out what sequences are. And here you see you got tags. We talked about the tags, but here's where you can create them, delete them, see who's on them, etc. So now we'll go leads, communications, sequences. This is where you build the campaigns. Okay, this is where you build campaigns to people, email sequential campaigns. And we'll just grab one of them to see if we can find something that, this is all the YouTube stuff that Tony's been doing lately. Okay, so here's one that's got, this is a follow-up from the, somebody buys a Banker Secret book. We want to ask them if they'd like to talk to us. So this is a consultation invitation. So let's see what that looks like. And what I love about these things is they're just so logical to look at. So here's where you name it. Here's the public description. You click edit and it takes you in to the editing platform. And again, this would be, in many cases, one program you would pay for just to be able to do this. Like, dang it, the name of it it starts with an A. Flew past my brain. But anyway, Aweber. All right. So this is, you'd have Aweber and it would do this thing. But this is just part of Kartra, and Kartra does it all. So what do we do here? The first thing we do is we set up what are the starting rules to put somebody on this sequence. Excuse me, but I have the kind of eyes that if something is close, it's on the lens. It looks like a boulder. It looks like a meteorite coming in from space. So starting rules. So what does this say? It's a tag, so it's telling me right off visually that it's about if somebody gets a tag. So it says if somebody is assigned the BSB1 book funnel buyer tag. Okay, now that the BSB1 book funnel is the people coming in from the Facebook ads. They go to the page to buy the book. They see the bump offer to add the videos. And if you've been through this, you've already seen it. As soon as you say yes or no to that and you buy the book or the book and videos, boom, you're offered the upsell to the Smart Wealth System course. If you say no to that, no thanks, you are offered the Smart Wealth University monthly membership. And then finally you get to download your book. So that's the book funnel. That's what a funnel is. You're taking them through sort of a funnel down through that initial process. So the lead, if the lead gets this, right? That's what we're saying here. If a lead gets this, start them on this sequence. What's this other one? Come on, I want to edit that. Why are you making this so hard for me? It is making, there we go. Boom. Okay, if a customer buys the BSB1 book at any price. So it's kind of two different ways because there are different campaigns that one could put one tag on, the other one, it's coming off the purchase. But you can see there are two different ways you can get people started on this. Now, some of these people, they'll fall into both camps and they'll go into this. They won't go into it twice, they'll go into it once. So then it's email. And I'm just going to pull over email. No, this is an SMS. This is a text. It's a smaller box. Email, text, and let's just look at one of these things. So we'll just look at this one here. Edit. You can deactivate that email. You can do a lot of things from that menu. So okay, so we'll just take a look at this email. And here's the edit mode. So and you see where it says first name, my dad died years younger than I am now. Okay, first name means that everybody on that list that's going to get this, it puts their first name in there. So when you get the email and it says, hi, Marianne, or Marianne, my dad died years before. Okay, the automation put that in there. It may seem like I sat down and typed you a personal email. And I'm pulling back the curtain. Toto is exposing me. But this is what's actually happening. But the good news is it can happen for you too. So then, hi, Marianne, it puts in your first name. And so this is all pre-written. This is a relatively long email. And here it's giving you, it's saying, hey, you already own this book, but in case you didn't download it, the book, or you can, and there's another link back up here somewhere where I think you can get the book. No, I guess you got to click on the book in this email. And then down here is a link. You see it's a blue link. And if I click on that and I say, what's that link, what is it? That takes you to the consultation scheduling page where you can find a time to talk with one of us. So you can see that it's all automated, and this goes out to hundreds of people, and each one reads it. And if somebody clicks on that, it takes them to the calendar, and they can book a time. And it's all automated. It's wonderful. So we'll just back out of this because we didn't change anything. And you can see here on this entry page, so to speak, when you go to edit, it tells you the delay since the previous event, in this case email, 1 day. You can send it on any day of the week because you can pick out specific days. If you don't want it on the weekends, you leave out the weekends. It is follow-up consultation email 2. So what email is it? You can see all this stuff on here so you know what you're working on. The recipients, anybody reaching this step, which is once you put somebody into a sequence and they're going through it, you can use this, anyone reaching this step pretty much. And you can also use automations to clear out anybody that acted on it from a previous email. I won't get that technical. No split test, that's off. And here is the email copy that you click the edit button, or you can click this link and it'll take you in there to edit it. All right, so that's how cool the emails are. Now, if we go to this SMS, this is a text, and we have Twilio already set up, remember, in the integrations. So now when we put a text in there, the system knows, just send this out through Twilio. So somebody got an email, they maybe didn't respond to it, or they haven't dug down into their email inbox yet to see that email, but they get this text. And it says, have questions about the Banker Secret book? Click here to schedule a Q&A call. And then it takes them to that exact same scheduling page. So that's how the text works. You are limited to, the 140 characters or whatever in the texts. So you can't do a text near as long as that email was. And that was a longer, because I was telling a story there. Here's probably a more typical email. We'll take a quick look at it. Boom. And yeah, this is shorter. So, but it's another chance to get the book and schedule your call. Okay. So we're taking them through a sequence, and anytime that they buy the book, that purchase takes them off of this sequence. So that's all built into the automation. All right. So let's go back. We're done. We want to exit this email sequence. There are automations here. I won't get into that, but automations are just if-then kinds of situations. If a person does that, if they click the link in the email, then stop this flow and send them over here. So there's a lot of conditional directions what to do with those people, but it always starts out with an if. If they do this, then do that. Put a tag on them. Send them over to this sequence. So there's a lot of capabilities in the automations. Broadcasts are the one-offs. Sequences are sequences of emails that you automate. You tell it how far apart you want them, and then you write each email. You do all that once. Then every time you put somebody on it, they march through that on their own individual timeline. Broadcasts are like today, when I sent out the email saying, hey, this afternoon we're going to talk about Kartra. That was a broadcast because it's a one-time email. When I go in there, I can select who I want to send it to, write the email, boom, send it, or I can schedule it to be sent at a later date. You can have a little calendar there, and you can just say send it at a later date. You pick the date, you pick the time, and that's when it will be sent out. All right, let's go down to analytics. It's very cool. We kind of looked at analytics, but what I want to show you is that analytics are available in every one of these areas. There'll be analytics where you can see how many people came, how many dollars that they brought to the table, et cetera. So analytics are available throughout this. And this is one of the powers, one of the superpowers of Kartra, is because everybody and everything is happening inside of one application, then these analytics can draw from the product, from the pages, from the shopping cart, from email clicks, because they see it all. The program sees it all. So that's what makes this really cool. All right, My Pages. This, in a former life, was another application. Okay, we had to have another application, and I won't name it. There are several good ones out there, Entreport Lead Pages, and we'll just say it was one of those guys. And so we made our pages in that platform. We had to link them in and have the links go inside the former email platform that we used. And I mean, it was crazy and expensive. Okay. So here we can build pages, let's say, and anywhere in Kartra. And this is another thing I love about it, is that everything is common in the system. Every area looks the same and kind of works the same. So if you want to add a page, what do you do? If you want to add in anything, if we're up here in communications, you want to add an email to a sequence, you click the green button. Or, if you want to add a new sequence or a new broadcast, you click the green button and you just create it. So here if we wanted to add a page, you'd see, okay, you can start from scratch and design it and just pull over components like headline and picture. And so you build it. It's drag and drop. If we said, yeah, let's do it that way, you can see that there's a menu of different components along the side, and you just drag them over and drop them on the page. And then you put your text in there or your image in there or whatever, and you build it from scratch. But there are lots of templates in here. Squeeze pages. We talked about squeeze pages. So you can see that there's every kind of, let's say that here, we'll do a preview on this one. Grab your spot. This seems like a webinar invitation or registration. So here's your name, your whatever. I will. There's a click box for something, and then you click on the button, and this is kind of the sales text over here, and you would just alter this stuff. If you said, yeah, I want to edit this, I want to make this my page, you would just alter this text. It's just highlight it and type in what you want. Okay. So it's very simple to use this template, and you can put in a timer, and the timer you click, and every time you click on one of these components to edit it, well, let's just select it. Let's go into the builder for a second. I won't save it, but we'll let you see what it looks like inside there. So, and it is thinking, right? It says selected, so let's just see what happens. Come on. Well, it could be having a little bit of trouble because I'm trying to both stream to you and do this at the same. Oh, launch builder. I'm sorry, I didn't click the other button. Duh. So we put a name in. We'll just call this test, and I can select a category for it. We'll just say book funnel, select a site. I'll say SWS Academy. We have a couple of sites, and then create. You don't have to pick a site, by the way. That was optional. And so it'll load the builder, and here's the builder. Now, because I selected a site, it automatically has the header and footer goes automatically on every page I want to build on that. And you can do that too. Or I could say, you know what, on this, I don't want that header on there. So I'll just delete it. Boom, just pulls everything else. So I want to change this text. So I go, most incredible deal. Whoops, wrong one. There we go. A couple more. Okay, you see how easy that is. All right, so if I want to drag and drop anything over, like components, I can drag over additional columns, a headline component, and drop it in anywhere on here. Text component. If I wanted to put more text in here, I would just grab the text here, just grab this and drop it in. Anywhere that one of these bars lights up green, I can drop it on that bar. So it's amazing what you can do. And so you just grab it and build it. But if you're just going to do this thing, now I wanted to show you this countdown clock. You can edit it, and you can tell it that you want the timer. You can pick a date for it to count down to. In other words, you can go to the calendar. If this is a one-time event and you're pushing everybody to that deadline, then you can set up the day and the time. Or you can base it on when they hit the landing page. And you can just say, okay, I want to give them 12 hours from the time they hit on the landing page. So you would pick that, and you would say, oh, I want to give them 12 days, 0 hours, 0 minutes, 0 seconds. And then these are all optional. And then when that's done, if I click here, I can say when it's done, I want to redirect them to a page. And we do that all the time. If we have a deadline in a promotion and they don't get there in time, it redirects them to a page saying, sorry, you missed it, but we'll have this promotion again in probably 3 months. Okay. So that's how you use those things, because you may want to use what's called urgency in your promotions and say, hey, when the clock hits 0, this offer is off the table, and it's for real. It's off the table. So that's how you would use that. But you can see how cool that is and how simple it is. And so if we hit apply on that, it would change. It would set that clock so that when somebody landed on, when you publish this page and put it out on the internet, then when a person lands on it, what it does is it puts a cookie on their browser and says, okay, the 12 hours started from this moment. So if they, the next day, let's say 8 hours later, they go back to that page, the clock will say 4 hours, or 3 hours and 58 minutes and 37 seconds, because it's keeping a second by second count. And then when it hits zeros, it does whatever you told it to do when it hits the zeros. So that's how easy this is to change. That's how cool it is to use. Now I'm just going to exit back to the dashboard and not keep this page because we don't need it. Oh, great. So now I want to delete this because I don't need it for anything. And yes, it always gives you lots of opportunities to, when you go to delete, it'll go, are you sure? Are you really sure? Okay. So anyway, this is how pages work. You can do split tests. We do that all the time where we say, okay, this page is working well. When the people come from Facebook, for example, and they hit this page, they convert at such and such a percentage. But we have another idea for a landing page that we think might be better. Let's try it. So you do a split test. And what that does is the first person that comes is sent to this version of the page, the next person that version, the next person this version, the next person that version. And so it's splitting them, and then it keeps track of how many people clicked off and actually ended up doing something. And then you can pick the winner, or you can tell the system, pick the winner for me after the next 1,000 viewers or whatever. So again, very cool. Forms, anytime you're going to have a form like for an opt-in or something, you have to create that form first before you can put it on a page. If you go, like, for example, that page we were building with the little timer and stuff, it was a page where they had to put in their name and email address. Well, when you go to build that piece of the page, it's going to ask you, what form is this connected to? Because the form is where you tell it, what list is this person going to be on? What tags do you want to put on it? That's all created in the form. Then when you put the form on a page, it's done. It just does what the form was designed to do. So anyway, you see we have a number of forms here. Memberships. Okay, so you have a course, you have some sort of a situation where you want to have an ongoing relationship with your customer in this particular area. Did that not select? Come on. Here we go. Okay, so you can see these are our memberships. Agent Academy Cash Flow Dashboard, the Debt Free Millionaire, Smartest Wealth Systems, the Banker Secret System course, which is if you added the videos and got the $46 combo deal, this is where your membership would be, because you end up with both the book and the videos. Affiliates and Online Business Academy, you'd be in here. Okay, so you'd be a part of this membership, and we could go in here and edit this membership and can, make changes to it or whatever. But the conditions of the membership, I'm not going to get into it because I don't want your eyes to glaze over. But you can see that you can set up your memberships. People get credentials to log in just like you do, and all of the mechanisms necessary to have a controlled environment, access controlled environment. And you can do many things in there. For example, you could, let's say you have a course, you can give people, like we normally do, full access. As soon as they purchase, they get full access to all the lessons, because some people want to just binge and get through it. Other people want to, take it on their schedule. But you can also set up a drip where session 1 is available this week, session 2 a week from now, session 3, etc. And that drip is controlled, but it's based on the person's start date. So it's not like, oh, you came in when everybody was on session 2, so you're on session 2. Nope, you're starting at your starting point. So you control all those parameters inside memberships. My videos. Okay, here's another place where we had outside video hosting. Some people use YouTube for video hosting. The only problem with using YouTube, let me have a sip here, is you have a little bit less control. And sometimes, and the YouTube logo will show up, and you probably want to brand your stuff your own way. Well, you can put the videos inside Kartra, and Kartra will host your videos. And there are amazing extra superpower benefits when you have the video hosted in Kartra. You can have it where a clickable link comes up on the video, and they can click on that and go to a sales page. It'll keep all the parameters, all the stats for your video viewers, how long they viewed, and all that kind of stuff. You can there's a lot of different things you can do and track on your video usage if the video is hosted in Kartra. And you could put tags on people who view the video. You can put a tag on somebody that watches, half of it, all of it, 10 seconds of it, whatever. So there's so much you can do with a video if it's hosted inside. We also use Vimeo, I'll say that, for some of the marketing videos that are going to get high volume usage, because Vimeo is a little bit less expensive for that. But for most of the stuff, it's in here. And certainly the stuff that is part of our courses, all the videos that are part of courses, they're all in here. All of this OBA, for example, this Online Business Academy. So calendars. Now, here's another thing. We've been using Calendly for our scheduling of consultation calls, but we're looking at, because this is a relatively new addition they just added, calendars, where you can create a calendar that you can give people a link to, and they can come and schedule time on your calendar, and then it'll tell you, and it'll put it, like, for example, in my Microsoft Outlook, it'll put it in my Outlook, and it'll send reminders to them. This will do all that same stuff. So we're in the process. You can see I've got one going here with my pretty face on it. And so I'm testing it. All right. Help desks. Again, we talked about help desks. We've got a couple. And these are where people can put in a ticket to get a response from, like, customer support, customer service, or whatever. And then it keeps track of the answers and the questions and responses. Campaigns. This is really cool. Full marketing campaigns. You can create them and you can actually sell them to other Kartra users. But the main benefit of this is the done for you campaigns. Look at all the campaigns that are completely built. And this is, I'm telling you, this saves you a ton of work. Lead magnet campaign. I want to be able to offer a free special report or something, and then get people to give me their email address for it. It's all built right here. It's all built. If you can view, we'll view the assets here and see what's in it. Pages. There are 5 pages in this campaign. Web pages. They're all built. All you got to do is get on there and change the image to your product, change the headline to your headline, just like we showed before. Tags. There are 3 different tags already built into this. There are 3 products built into this. Now you go change it to your whamma jamma, your widget, whatever it is, but it's already structured. So all you got to do is change the words. 2 videos. So what do you need to do? You need to get in front of a camera and record a couple of videos and put your videos in there. A list is, and all the sequences and the forms, everything is made in here, and all you have to do is deploy it. We see if we click on here, you see the other option is deploy. If it deploys, if I clicked deploy on this, all the pages in here would go to my pages, the forms would go to my forms, the sequences would go into My Communications sequence. The tags would go into tags. Everything would deploy into its areas. And then you would just have to go find those things in there and edit them and customize them to what you're offering. These are amazing. We've used a couple of them. The book funnel, the Frank Kern book funnel. Frank Kern, one of the online marketing geniuses of the world, he created this book funnel for Kartra. And so there it is. And all the pieces are already there. All the pages, all the sequences, everything's in there. And you just go in there and put in the image of your book, So that made it so much simpler to do a book funnel than having to figure out how to do it. Now I can do it on my own now, but when we first started with it, this made it so much simpler. These are all, I think these are all Kern guys. The 4-day cash machine is another Kern thing. If you've got products, this is a way to sort of like speed dial up sales to get over 4 days to get as many sales as you can on your products. And then you just back off for a while and do your normal thing. So it's like, a special promotion thing. List builders. So this is to help you build a mailing list. Simple list builder sales campaign. It's a combination of building your list and making sales. But these are all quick launch. If you have a new product and you want to launch it, this is the campaign you would use. If you have an e-commerce site, like an Etsy site, you could use the e-commerce portion of this and push sales over to your e-commerce site. So on and so forth and so forth. So anyway, these things are amazing to have them built in where all you got to do, and it's a benefit in two ways. It's done. And secondly, when you click it and deploy it, and then you go into pages and you go into sequences and you see, okay, there it is. There's that email sequence. It's already built. So what did they actually do? How did they time this out? What are the delays between? So you're actually learning from seeing masters designs of the various components. So it's like a education and you get the result built into your system all at the same time. Integrations we dealt with. My agency, this is another cool thing, but it's kind of like 201, 301 in terms of complexity. But you can actually start an agency where you build these campaigns and you have clients that they have Kartra and you have access to their Kartra where you can go in and do work for them for which they pay you because you're the agency, and you can work on their campaigns and stuff, and you get a commission on their Kartra subscription, and you can charge them for the services you provide. So it's a higher level of using Kartra, not just as a user, but as an agency who knows so much about it that you help other users. Okay. So that's what agency. And affiliate promos is if you have affiliates, which we do, we have a limited number of affiliates, but an affiliate is somebody that goes out and sells your product. And when the product is purchased, it's purchased on your site in your Kartra system. But the Kartra system says, oh, okay, the affiliate brought this buyer. So the affiliate gets a commission. And then at the end of the month, you say, who do I owe money to? And it spits it out and tells you pay this affiliate that much, this affiliate that much, this affiliate that much. So it helps you deal with those folks. All right. So I am going to, I think we pretty much covered it. So we'll go back to the camera. And here we are. And so there you go. I mean, wow, it took an hour. But that's a tour of a very complex but elegant system. Robust is a better term. I think that's what I said in the email. It's robust, meaning look at all the functionality in that thing. It can do, I can't think of too many things it can't do, really. So it does almost anything you might want to do in an online business. It's already in there. But it's elegant in the sense that you don't have to say, oh, I'm in Pages now. How does that work? Everything works the same way. Every section has the little green arrow or green plus sign in the box down there where you click on it to start a new sequence, to start a new web page, to start whatever. So everything kind of works the same. And so once you get comfortable in the Kartra environment, you can go to any one of those sections and it's going to work the same way for you. Okay, Harold Berry says, I tried to follow on with you on my Kartra logon, but it appears that I am only 50% done. Where do I go to complete my Kartra requirements? Harold, I'm not exactly sure what you're saying. 50 is that where you, over on the kind of the right hand side it says 50%? That must have been, you must have deployed a campaign. And when you deploy a campaign, that's another cool feature. It will say you need to do this piece, you need to do this piece, you need to do this piece. You haven't customized the stuff that was generically deployed into your system, and it will say, and as you complete those, it will say you're 30% done, 40% done, 50% done. So I'm assuming that that's what the 50% done is all about. So that's what I would look to see, because it should tell you the parts that haven't been completed yet. It should show that. If you're talking about 50% done in some other way, like signing onto the system or actually getting Kartra, then you'd have to communicate with me offline. Feel free to email me and we'll figure it out. So, all right. Anybody else have any other questions? And it could be about Kartra or anything else to do with online business. But I just felt like we really have to show you this thing. And there's something else I want to do too. If you want to, this will give you a much more elegant view of Kartra and what it will do. And so I will put this in the chat. And this is the a link to go get Kartra. Actually, yeah, it'll take you to a sales page, but I mean, their sales page is like, wow, it's got videos and all. It's beautiful. It's a tremendous web page, and it breaks it down into all the different functionalities and gives a little video that shows how each one works. And it'll kind of be a review, a lot of it, of what I went through with you, but prettier, because they do it very, show and tellish. But anyway, I suggest you click on that link, and I'll be totally transparent. You see the JC1VG at the end here? This is our affiliate link. If you were to take Kartra, if you were to subscribe to Kartra through this link, you will pay the exact same price you would do if you came from the planet Venus and went directly to their webpage. The price is the same, but if you were to take it, we would get a commission. That's how affiliate marketing works, and that's one of the things we teach you in the Online Business Academy in session 4, referral marketing. We teach you joint venturing and affiliate marketing. And so this is something that we believe when there's synergy, like there is with the Online Business Academy and Kartra, then we should offer you a pathway into Kartra. And if we get a commission, we're only doing what we teach, right? We're doing what we teach. So that link will take you to a very beautiful, elegant, and efficient and quick introduction to Kartra. But it has the options to click and get a lot more information about any little piece of it you might want to check out. So I highly recommend you get that. If you're watching this in the archives and you don't see the chat, I will endeavor to put it in the comments. But if you, I'll put the link in the I'll try to put the link in the comments, because there's no way to put it on the video, so to speak. But in any case, check it out. It's worth checking Kartra out. All right. Okay. Marianne says, I want to build a business using this system, but I don't know what to sell. Would you please give me a few good ideas? Well, that, Marianne, is exactly what session 1 is all about. It's designed to help you try to figure out what you would like to do. I mean, you can try things like go on Google or Bing. I like Bing as a search engine, but either one, and just say best home-based businesses or best online businesses, for example, and it will pull up lists. And these are just lists that different magazines or different websites have created. They're not the absolute, but they may give you ideas. And I many times when I'm talking about this, I mentioned this woman that I learned about who her hobby was growing succulents, like, little cactus in a pot. And she just started posting pictures on Instagram and stuff. And then somebody said, wish you had a website. So she created a website. And by the way, you can create a website in Kartra. You do not have to go build it outside of Kartra. You can build it in Kartra. And so anyway, she did a website, and then people were constantly asking her a lot of similar questions. So she created a little course. I think it started out as a little book, and she sold that for like $10. And then she came up with a course and sold that for $90 or something. And now the woman is making $500,000 a year selling information products about growing succulents in pots. So the sky's the limit. Whatever you know anything about or have access, if it's a product, you want to sell an actual physical product, you can do that. But then you have to set up like delivery and all that. That's got to be part of your plan. But if that's something you're really into, then, but what you have to think about is, like, for example, we have a friend who crochets, I believe is the technical term. I know there's knitting and crocheting, and they're not the same thing. But in any case, she's like she reminds me of a 3D printer. I mean, what do you need? A sweater? Here it is. It's amazing how fast she can do stuff. But as fast as she is, that would be a crummy online business, unless you get people to pay you hundreds of dollars for a sweater, because the math just won't work out for getting a customer. You have to have a relatively low cost, high volume product. And if you can source something in China, this is something people here like, these earrings with the little dangly stuff on them or whatever, and you can get them in China and you can buy them for $1 each and sell them for $5 online, you could do that, because you want to make sure that you have high volume. It's not you having to make them each time. All you got to do is get them out of the big box and put them in the little envelope. Okay. So that's what you have to have. Relatively low cost relative to the price you can sell it at. I mean, if you can get something for $50 and sell it for $300, it still works, as long as you've got a pretty good margin, because to get that $300 sale, you're going to probably have to spend, if you're lucky, $250 in advertising. All right. So everything's relative. If you can get something for $1 and sell it for $5, you might only have to spend $4 in advertising to get that $5 sale. So you're making $1 every time. And then the more you do, the more bucks you make. Okay. That's just how it works. So think of something that first of all, as I said at the beginning, you need a starving market. You need a marketplace that has shown, it has proven that it will spend money for something. Like if I was going to open up a restaurant, especially here in the Phoenix area, everybody eats tacos. Okay, so just get your taco stand, and you already know you have a built-in market who will spend money on tacos. That's what I'm talking about. You know that there's a market out there. Another good example is golfers. Golfers will spend exorbitant amounts of money on gadgets that supposedly will take a stroke or two off their game or add 10 yards to their drives. So they will spend money, and there are a lot of golfers. That's what you're looking for, who will spend money, and there are a bunch of them that you can reach. So you really have to think up your business in terms of not just what do I love to do. I mean, that's kind of important, but if you love to do something that nobody else cares about, you're not going to make any money, no matter how much passion you have. You hear, follow your passion and you will be successful. You'll be successful in the sense that you feel good when you're doing whatever you're doing, but in terms of making money, your passion is not the path to the gold mine. The passion of the people you're selling to is. So you need to find something that you would like to make or do or teach that people are out there who want that information or that product. Those are the two pieces. Something you can do and enjoy doing or providing, and people want it and will pay money for it. So that's how you determine what's a good idea. And it can be really pedestrian. I mean, it can be gardening. If you're a gardener, how many books do you have? How many websites do you go to? You see what I'm saying? You're welcome, Marianne. It's a start. It's got to come out of your head and your heart, basically. But remember, if you want a business, not a hobby, if you just want a hobby, then do what you like to do. And if you only find 5 people who want to talk to you about it, you're all happy and you're enjoying your conversation. But if you want to make money, you can't exist with 5 customers. You got to find lots more customers. And so you need to find something that people are willing to pay money for. And they are willing to pay money for information. I mean, we have courses, and that produces a lot of revenue. We also have services and products like the private family bank and things that we get commissions on. So we have sort of a multi-sourced revenue stream for the business, and that's all good. If you can put that kind of stuff together, it's all that much the better. But you want to try to find something where, like if you knew enough about anything, and don't downplay the value of stuff you have learned in any particular area over your lifetime. If there are other people out there who could benefit from the experience or the knowledge you've gained about a profession or a hobby or relationships or any of that kind of stuff, there are people who will pay for that, and you can sell it to them. You can sell it to them as a subscription to a newsletter, as an information product that's video based or printed material based. You can sell them coaching. A lot of people are buying coaching out there. They just want somebody to mentor them through the process of how to get a date or how to build a hobby horse or whatever. I mean, there's a lot of coaching built around improving your self-esteem and self-image. There's a lot of that out there, but there are money coaches. There are a lot of coaches that can do the coaching online, and you do it basically like a lot of it is just what we're doing right here. It's just a webinar. It's just you could use Zoom, you could use Skype, FaceTime. There are a lot of different technologies that allow you to communicate with a single coach client or multiple coaching clients at the same time. So just let your imagination run wild. But what you want to do is when you look at all these ideas, you want to have 3 columns like idea, market, channel. Okay. The channel is how do I communicate to them? If you're doing something that's very visual, probably Instagram, and I probably don't know many of the platforms that are out there that younger people are using these days, but Instagram is more visual. There's another one that's mostly just pictures. But in any case, you can use these different platforms. So you want to say, okay, there's things I like that I think could be businesses I could do. Here are the potential customer bases for these things. People between these ages, with this much money, with this ethnicity, this hair color, this whatever fits, however you can describe them. And then how can I reach them? Excuse me. I had a hair in there or something. Back in the day, we used direct mail. So it would be, can I get an email list with those people on it? Today, it's much simpler. You can go on Facebook, and they have a bazillion different interests that you can select. People that are interested in this, interested in that. And so you can, and that's in the Online Business Academy, in the Facebook advertising area. Lessons, you can see that stuff. So anyway, that's how you do that. So you want to know the business idea, the market for that, who's the target customer market for that, and what channel can I reach them through. And so then you just want to find the thing that gives you the best of all 3. Okay, something that there's a market for, that there's a clear channel that I can reach them through, and I'm okay doing it. You don't have to be in love with doing it if you're okay with doing it. That could be better than something you love to do, but there's only 3 people and I have to go knock on their door. That's the only way to reach them. You see what I'm saying? So you got to find the balance between those 3 things. Anybody else? We're almost out of time here. The max is 90 minutes on these things. So I just want to make sure I give you a chance. If you've got a question, give you a lot to chew on, go click on that link while it's still up there for Kartra, and just enjoy the video that they show you. All right. Well, if there are no more questions, I will ding, ding, ding. I'm giving you a little time because there's the back and forth delay with streaming. But it's becoming apparent that we're not going to hear from anybody else. Thank you, Marianne, for your good question. And Harold, we'll figure out your thing when you communicate with me. All right, everybody. I appreciate it very much. It's been enjoyable. I always love talking about this stuff. And you had good questions, so thank you. That makes it more fun. And we will see you again, I guess, in a couple of weeks on the next Online Business Academy training, this live training. It's designed to be a Q&A. We did a lot of training on this one, but come with your questions if you have questions. Okay, so God bless you and your family and your business ideas. Go get them.